The scene where Jeremiah gets his heart transplant is my favorite part of the novel because I didn't even know you could have a heart transplant. This caused the parts of the novel where it talked about Jeremiah getting a heart transplant to be a whole lot more interesting. I also liked how his heart transplant characterized him as a strong kid that really thinks about his problems. One more reason why this is my favorite part of the novel is because it makes the book more interesting and not making the book just all about baseball. Soar is a fictional novel written by John Bauer. Within this novel, there are examples of how the title can be deemed effective or ineffective. In my opinion, the title of the novel is rather ineffective because of the fact that, as a reader, I didn't think back once on the title. Also, there are big parts of the novel that should be expressed in the title. For example, on page 76, Jeremiah is about to get his heart surgery. It says, "We waited almost a year for me to get a new heart." This example proves the title's ineffectiveness because it shows that Jeremiah gets a new heart, which is talked about throughout the entire novel. Furthermore, causing me to believe this is a big reason the title is ineffective. Although the novel talked about baseball, Soar, in my opinion, is not very related to baseball. In my opinion, John Bauer should have chosen a name for the novel that linked to both his heart and the game of baseball. Thus, I think the title Soar is ineffective because of the way that there is nothing in the story causing me to think back on the title, as well as the way Jeremiah's heart is also a huge part of the novel. Soar is a fictional novel by John Bauer. Within this novel, there are multiple forms of conflict, the main one being internal conflict. Internal conflict refers to the struggles of a character within their mind. The dominant form of conflict is internal conflict because of the huge struggles Jeremiah has throughout the novel. For example, on page 8, Jeremiah is telling his new friends why he can't play baseball. It says, "Every time I try to run, my heart beats at the speed of light. I hope with my new heart I can finally play the game I love." This example shows the internal conflict Jeremiah has throughout the book because Jeremiah has to mentally overcome all of these challenges he has with his new heart, causing him not to play his favorite sport. Since Jeremiah doesn't have a working heart, but he loves baseball so much, he has to think of other ways that he can be involved without damaging himself. This shows where the internal conflict comes into play because all of his internal struggles Jeremiah has along his baseball and heart journey. Jeremiah also says in the example that he hopes his new heart will cause him to be able to play baseball, therefore showing that he is always thinking about his heart and how it affects him. Thus, the main form of conflict in this novel is internal conflict because of the internal struggles Jeremiah faces surrounding his heart.